Have you ever wondered which medications are being allowed into the U.S. from foreign factories that have been banned? This is not just a minor detail. It's a significant issue that potentially impacts patient safety and drug efficacy. For over 12 years, the Food and Drug Administration, FDA, kept a somewhat alarming secret. It permitted certain medications from foreign manufacturers that had been deemed substandard to enter the U.S. market, despite having officially banned these facilities due to serious manufacturing failures. This revelation was brought to light by ProPublica in June when they uncovered this obscure practice, illustrating the tension between maintaining drug safety and preventing shortages. The FDA justified these unusual exemptions as necessary measures to combat drug shortages, asserting that they implemented precautionary measures to guarantee the safety of these products. For instance, they required these banned factories to conduct additional testing before shipping their drugs to American patients. However, there's a critical question that arises from this. How effective were these safety measures? The FDA has admitted that it does not routinely test these drugs, nor does it consistently monitor reports from healthcare professionals, which often detail disconcerting issues such as foul odors, odd tastes, or residues in the medications. Patients have also reported sudden health problems that might or might not be related to these drugs. While the FDA claims that these complaints may not necessarily connect to the medications, experts in drug safety warn that without further investigation, it remains unclear if anyone was harmed, and if so, how many. What's even more troubling is that the FDA has operated without transparency on this matter, not releasing a complete list of medications allowed from these banned manufacturers. Today, ProPublica is set to disclose that very list, shining a light on which drugs were exempt and their corresponding manufacturers. This critical data includes the names of medications since 2013 and their producers, many of which are based in India, with a couple from China and Hungary. In creating this list, reporters relied on archived online records and utilized Retica Systems, a company specializing in quality and regulatory intelligence, which houses extensive agency documents. The analysis from ProPublica considered all exemptions from each banned manufacturer, ensuring clarity in identifying products. If a drug was exempted from multiple factories, it was counted for each facility, and different formulations of the same medication were also tallied as unique drugs. It's important to note that generic medications can be produced by numerous manufacturers, making it quite challenging for consumers to pinpoint the origin of their drugs based solely on what's displayed on the packaging. Sometimes, the labels will list repackagers or distributors rather than the actual producers. For more detailed information, pharmacists and healthcare providers can often provide guidance regarding the sources of prescribed medications. As of August 4th, this list is up to date, yet the FDA maintains the authority to adjust the status of exempted drugs at any point. In advancing transparency, ProPublica reached out to all drug manufacturers included in the list. Unfortunately, most of them chose not to respond. For instance, Apotex, which previously indicated it would take corrective action following FDA inspections, did not comment despite its factories no longer being banned. On the contrary, companies like Intas Pharmaceuticals, whose U.S. branch is Accord Healthcare, shared that they have invested significantly in upgrades and enhancements, focusing on quality across their operations. They claimed that any exempted drugs sent to the U.S. were done so under monitored conditions, adding that some were never shipped because alternative suppliers were identified. Opposing views arise as many of these manufacturers still face bans yet continue to send exempted drugs to the U.S. As highlighted, this raises serious concerns regarding the adequacy of the safeguards put in place by the FDA. Companies like Pfizer, Intas, and Wockhardt emphasized their commitments to upholding quality standards and improving their facilities. Yet the fact remains that some factories persist in receiving exemptions despite ongoing bans, arousing questions about regulatory effectiveness. So, what do you think? Is the FDA doing enough to protect consumer health while managing drug supply? Are the exempted drugs safe enough, or should we be more concerned about quality control in these banned factories? Let's discuss in the comments below.